back.
Hi. I'm so happy to be back.
Me too. It's fall. It's officially fall.
So tomorrow,
Technically, it's yeah.
I thought it was today. I
No.
thought it was always September 21st, but I Googled it.
No, it's around my mom's birthday every year. It's like the 22nd, 23rd normally. Or is
Yeah.
it actually the 22nd?
I think it's the 22nd, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
always think it's the 21st.
Yeah, because it's
In
right
my
by my
mind,
mom's
it's fall.
birthday. Yeah, I agree. I feel like once,
It's been fall since September 1st.
I was just going to say once September hits, like that's fall.
Yeah. September 1st, I shit you not, I made pumpkin bread. I bought so many things for like fall Halloween decorations. I got ghosts. I got ghosts all
I love
over
this
the place. I
one.
know. Isn't it fun?
His eyes are so big.
I know. Yeah, that one's up year round because we love it so much.
I know. It looks like it's wood, so why not have it?
Exactly. And then our little gallery wall ghosts, we're keeping them up for good. Like, we're not changing them out.
yeah, I think you should keep them up forever.
We like low-key want to like create like a I Spy or like a scavenger hunt. Like go any visitor that is here. We
Like,
have to
where's
be like,
Waldo?
You have to find all of our ghosts if you want to stay.
Find all 50 of our ghosts throughout our apartment.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a fun little game.
I feel like at this point we only have like 12 or 13 ghosts around the apartment.
Only 12 or 13
Yeah.
right now.
And they aren't real ghosts. They're not
No.
spirits. They're just decorations.
No, but if it was a real spirit, that'd be pretty cool.
We'd be talking to them all the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
ASMR episode?
sorry, I just needed a sip of my water. We're back from our little hiatus for our favorite season ever, spooky season. We are just some best friends that love scary things.
Love spooks.
So the whole
Spooks
month
and
of
spuds.
spooks and spuds. I know we have to do that.
We're going to do it.
We have to plan it for next year.
Realistically, it can be pre-recorded content. Who says that we have to do it around Halloween time?
No, we don't have to.
I think for our elementary would be pretty cool in the winter.
So scared.
And then think of how warm it would be after having our spuds.
So true. Oh, I'd kill for a spud.
Yeah.
Anyways, but for the whole month of October, we will be doing spooky episodes. So 5 whole episodes of spook. So buckle up.
It's a 5-week month this year. 5-week October month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, with Thursdays. There's 5
Yes.
Thursdays in the month of
Yes.
October.
There are also 5 Fridays.
Oh, cool. Fun fact.
It's not just Thursday.
That's so true. Yeah, because the 31st is on a Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
Halloween.
we should introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah, I'm Jess.
I'm Marissa.
This is Totally Candid. Welcome.
Or is it? I'm just kidding.
I'm like,
Or am I?
we don't know. Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
We
I'm
haven't.
pumped.
I feel like we haven't talked in our microphones in a hot minute.
I know.
I also have like fun little updates and things.
Yeah.
That I was waiting to tell you until
I know.
we started recording, and I gave you a little bit of a hint.
Yes,
But
you did.
last night, and it kind of ties into the theme of the episode, which is just like haunted places. But last night, Stephen and I went to the USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Because they were having an event. I can't speak. They were having an event with the Coolidge Corner Theater in Brookline. And they were putting on a double feature of like spooky boat pirate movies.
Yeah.
And so we went last night and we watched Ghost Ship and The Fog on the deck of USS Salem, which
I'm
is a
obsessed.
haunted place.
It
It's a haunted
is.
boat. And I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I had no idea.
Is the USS Salem in Boston Harbor?
It's in the Quincy Harbor. It was, Marissa, it was 10 minutes from our apartment, and I just didn't know that.
Well, I'm
I
wondering
thought it was
if...
in Salem.
Oh, from your... Wait.
From
your
Quincy.
old... Right. There's another boat that's in...
It's the Constitution, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went there for... I think for my...
Was it a field trip?
The C class. What was this? The...
With Barbara?
Yes. We went there. I'm like 90% sure it was with her class. I went there for some reason. Maybe it wasn't with her. I'm not sure.
I think I've been there for a field trip.
Yeah, I went there once, and I got really weird vibes on that ship too. But that's the one I thought that you were talking about for some reason, because I couldn't remember what it was called. But that's crazy. It was 10 minutes from your old place.
I had no idea, because in my mind it's called the USS Salem. I thought it was in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But no, it's in the Quincy Harbor. So we went last night, and we got like an early access self-guided like walking tour that we could do before the movie started.
Yeah.
So we were just exploring all of the boat, and like we got to the very bottom of the boat, and it was like the memorial part of it. And like my chest got so tight, and I started getting a sharp pain in my chest.
Ooh.
And like the air was so thick. And like Steven agreed with me too. He was like, yeah, the air was thick down there. But I was like, I just like did not feel good down there. And as soon as we got up to the second floor again, it was like fine. But I'm like, is it just because we were like at the lowest part of the ship,
like,
and like we're underwater?
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. But it was weird vibes.
Yeah.
But the movies were so fun.
Yeah, that's honestly so cool that you could do that. Like,
I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was freezing last night. We had 2 blankets and jackets, and I wish I brought a hat. But it was like the ambiance was so nice, and like it was just like the perfect usher into fall.
Was it just on like a projector screen?
Yeah,
on the top of the boat.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And they had snacks, and they had hot dogs. I think the hot dog made me sick though. I think it was all beef.
Yeah.
All beef.
I love a hot dog.
Me too. I heard there were hot dogs, and I got so excited.
I went to the Red Sox game on Thursday. I had 2 hot dogs and also ice cream. It was so good.
That sounds like a time well spent.
So good. Except the first hot dog that I got was like so bad. It was
really?
Like, yeah.
Why?
It was
just
so
like messy.
It was so squished and sad.
Oh.
And it was just like
it's a sad dog.
The hot dog was burnt, and then the actual bun itself was just like squished. It looked like it had been wrapped in like the paper for maybe like 2 hours.
Oh my god. Was it an official Fenway Frank?
Yeah, just like whatever because the Fenway Franks are just like the regular hot dogs. You can get like the jumbo ones, but that was just a regular one. And then we got another one later, and that one was like good, except that one was boiled instead of charred, like instead of grilled.
Oh, yeah, we had boiled ones last night.
Yeah,
they were fine.
I like a char.
Me too.
I like roast them over a fire.
Yeah, that's the best time I've ever had them.
Roasted weenies. We did that.
I love a roasted ween.
With all of our packets of various sauces and condiments
that we stole from a restaurant.
From the lobster place. Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Nothing really spooky happened when we were on the deck. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't seen Ghost Ship, it's so funny. It's more of an action movie, but like with ghosts in it.
Oh, fun. Is it like a actual like comedy?
No.
Oh.
No, but it was bad, so it was funny.
Oh, okay.
It was so bad, in my opinion, it was good.
Gotcha.
You know?
Love movies like that.
Yeah. And then The Fog is just a classic cozy.
I still have never seen it.
It's he's like, oh. So Steven is literally right behind the camera. But
say hi.
Hi.
It's one of his favorite movies, but it is just so cozy. The ambiance is so nice. Anything that John Carpenter does is just like a cozy vibe. So yeah, it was good. But nice. We should go on a tour to USS Salem because they do paranormal tours on Saturday evenings.
100%. Is it all year round?
I believe so.
Okay. Because we also were trying to figure out if we could do it before like Halloween. We super can't.
No, our wedding schedules are crazy.
Yeah. So we'll probably do it after and then do another episode on it.
We can definitely pre-record the episode and then
I think it would be so fun. And what we could do too, like we could get like a voice recorder and we could see if we like capture any EVPs and like we can add them to the video audio too.
I would love that.
We could bring like one of our cameras as like a vlog situation or like even use our phones, to be honest. And like
I mean my phone at this point, like
especially your new phone
camera.
Yeah. So we should do that. I think that would be so fun. And then
I'm so in.
That would be good for our YouTube too.
I want to investigate and do tours.
I know, me too.
Like, all of that. It's so fun.
I've had enough of watching investigations. I need to do them myself.
You're like, I'm sick of playing Phasmophobia. I need to do it.
I'm sick of playing Phasmophobia and guessing all the ghosts wrong. I literally I played last week Friday night. I played Friday night and I got both of the ghosts wrong. Mm-hmm. And I was playing with some friends and we were trying to figure it out, and like we were going in the house and I was like, okay, so we have to either like I think we had gotten ghost orbs and freezing temperatures. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, out of those two pieces of evidence, the only three ghosts that are left are Revenant, Eerie, and then Hantu, I think it was. And so we looked through all of the different pieces of evidence, and it was like either ghost writing or UV, or I think Spirit Box was the last one. Mm-hmm. We did all three of those the entire investigation, didn't get any of them. And so I was like, it can't be, like, this is impossible. It can't be one of them. I was like, I've been walking around with the UV light literally the entire game, and like every door or closet door or anything that this ghost touched did not show any UV, anything. Like, I did the Spirit Box in the beginning in the ghost room, didn't do anything. And I was like, the last one it has to be is ghostwriting if this is the only one that I couldn't do. So then we ended up selecting whatever one that was, and then it ended up being a ghost that wasn't even in the original grouping anyways. And I was like, why?
It's wild. So I send you these videos all the time, but have you seen, it's literally like these pro people, and they go outside and they see like, oh, the grass is too green, it's this ghost, and they get it right. I'm like, what the hell?
Because there's a specific tree in one of the maps that if it's like crooked, it's always the mimic.
Which is wild.
Yeah. But the problem though is that if you know, like just doing that, like, yeah, it gets you the XP of like guessing a ghost, right? But like, you can't do a perfect game, so you can't get all like the rewards and the money from like getting pictures of things and stuff. But the last game that I played was like the best game that I've played in terms of like seeing things, because usually whenever we've played, it's been like we get hunted and we're dead.
Yeah.
But in this one, so many ghost events were happening, and there was the ghost loved the front closet. It was the first map. I don't remember the name, but but it was the front closet, and it kept like opening the closet doors and like slamming them shut and stuff. And then there was a ghost event that happened that I witnessed. Thank God I had the Polaroid camera on me, because I took a picture of it. Yeah, a little kid like ran out of the closet and like ran past me and like giggled.
Wait, that's kind of cute.
Yeah,
was that a demon?
No, it was a Ure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was so funny. But anyway,
I love Phasmophobia.
I want to ghost hunt in real life and not in a video game.
I know. We just have to get all the equipment and like pretend we're in Phasmophobia, and then we're professionals.
We'll start with a voice recorder, because I feel like those are not only cheap but like it's easier to find. Yeah, because a Spirit Box is a lot of money.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how expensive they are. It's $160, $150.
It's literally a radio, isn't it?
It scans the frequencies, but yes. I don't know. Someone's doing something downstairs.
Anyways.
So, shall we get into today's episode?
Yes. So, we are doing Reddit stories today.
Our fave.
And the theme is haunted places, haunted locations, like true locations. I have 2 hotels.
Yep.
You have...
I have 2.
One's like a house and one's...
Yep, one's a house. So,
yeah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, I can go first. So, the places that we chose, we tried to pick like really famous places that like pretty much everyone knows if you're in like the paranormal sphere and stuff. So the first one that I chose was about the Sally House. If you don't know where the Sally House is, I believe it's in Kansas, right? I think it's
in those parts.
It's in... Oh gosh, Atkinson I can't pronounce that town. Atchison.
Atchison?
Atchison? I think it's Atchison. Atchison, Kansas is where it is.
Hell yeah.
The Sally House. A little backstory on the Sally House. It is supposedly haunted by a little girl named Sally who... There's a lot of discourse on Sally. Some people believe that Sally is a little girl who actually died and passed away there in the basement, I believe, or in the living room of the house, because a doctor had tried to perform surgery on her and she died on the table. It was unmedicated surgery. It was a long time ago and she bled out. But other people believe that a demon has kind of like taken, not control, but is like using the persona of this girl Sally, and it's actually a demonic presence and not just a spirit
like
of a little girl.
It's presenting itself as a little girl.
Yeah. So that's a very brief overview of the Sally house. I think eventually, if we do more paranormal episodes, we'll definitely dive deeper into stories of things.
I think we should do the Sally house. Like,
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But for now, that's kind of like the general basis of knowledge that you need. So this story, it's on r/paranormal. It's from user, I think Liza Hawthorne is their name, but they just posted about their experience from the Sally house. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. We can read some comments too. It's titled, I stayed in the Sally house, parentheses, long. If you've ever heard of it, the Sally house is a notorious haunted house in Kansas and has been called one of the most haunted houses in the U.S. Google. If you would like the full story, it's very interesting. My friends, parentheses, Tommy, Cap, and Pat, and I, 23, rented the house last year and decided to investigate it. We used to do these types of things in high school, and I had always been very sensitive to energies and spirits in general. The house is haunted by a little girl named Sally. However, there is no record since being built of any girl named Sally dying in the home. Sally particularly doesn't like men, and many men experience visible scratches. That is true. I feel like a lot of the videos and stuff that we watch, the men are the people that get attacked.
They're targeted.
But the women are ones that experience more like EVP related things, I feel like.
Yeah, because I feel like this entity, if they don't like men, they trust the women more to like talk to them.
Yeah, specifically, I remember, shout out to Project Fear. They did an episode recently, I think it was recently, where Chelsea, she did a solo investigation at the Sally house. And that one was crazy. And when they did a group investigation too, I remember the TV turned on by itself, and Chelsea specifically had a lot of experiences while she was alone in the house. So, or like specifically happened to her.
Crazy.
But continuing the story. So my friends and I got into the house around midnight. As soon as you enter the home, you just get this weird feeling of being watched. The house has an upstairs with 3 bedrooms. The first floor has a living room, dining room, and kitchen. We were standing in the dining room talking about our plan, and all of a sudden, Cap and I heard what sounded like a little girl humming. It wasn't the fridge or a mechanical noise. It sounded very human, like a little girl. I called the other guys, but as soon as I said something, it stopped. Then we heard someone walk across the floor upstairs, like heavy men's bootsteps. I was just said footsteps, like footsteps. The footsteps would continue all night anytime we were on the first floor, which confirmed always happens in any videos that we've seen for the Sally house too, which is crazy. We decided to go upstairs. I was in the middle. Pat was last. Both Pat and I heard what sounded like someone whisper, "Hey," really loudly in our ears. None of the others heard it, and it definitely shook us up. As soon as we got to the top of the stairs, it felt like none of us could breathe. It felt like something sitting on all of our chests, and you could hear all of us breathing heavily. Anytime any of us went upstairs, it felt really heavy and hard to breathe. We sat in the little girl's room, parentheses, kids' bed, lots of teddy bears, etc. Tommy and Pat were sitting on the bed. Cap and I were sitting on the floor in the corner. Tommy jumped up and yelled at Pat to quit touching him, and Ew. Pat hadn't been moving at all. I had been looking at both of them. Tommy said it felt like there was someone tickling his sides.
Ew.
And he thought Pat was messing with him. Then we heard a thump, and Cap and I saw a dark shadow walk across the hallway of the room across the hall. We both ran over there, but there was no one there. We then heard a very loud thump, like someone dropped something heavy on the floor in the 3rd bedroom. We walked over there again. Nothing was on the floor that could have made the noise that happened. There were plenty of other experiences we would love to hear, or we would hear someone having a conversation in other rooms, but couldn't make it out. It just sounded like someone muttering. Every voice was a man except the little girl humming. The shadows we would see moving were very tall. Okay, so that's it for the story.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What I think is so fascinating is that like all of the videos that I've seen about the Sally house, whether it's Ghost Adventures episodes, because Ghost Adventures have gone there, Sam and Colby, Project Fear, all of them have the same experience with like a little girl humming.
Yep.
Boot steps, loud footsteps on whatever floor they're not on.
Yep.
It always happens. And then a man's voice is always like the 3 common things that we hear, especially the footsteps and especially the humming of a little girl.
Yeah. I feel like there's that playful energy too. Like, was it Sam and Colby that brought the teddy bear, and they interacted with it. Was it that video? There was also the ball, because I think Seth was with them too.
Yes.
There was the ball, and they were like playing with the ball, and it pushed the ball down the stairs.
That also happened to Project Fear.
Yep.
Because they had the ball up at the top of the stairs and then it flew down the stairs. I'm pretty sure it was Sam and Colby that had the teddy bear. So that teddy bear that we're talking about, it's a version of a REM pod. So a REM pod, I don't know what REM stands for, but like what it's an acronym for. But essentially a REM pod just detects any type of like electromagnetic like field, or it puts out an electromagnetic field, and anything that interferes with that field, the REM pod will go off, and it's like an antenna in the center. So it detects temperature change, and then it detects any type of like motion or movement if it touches the rod or is near that field.
I think you like physically have to touch it.
Yeah.
Like for that part, but the temperature is
different. So like when you have a REM pod and like you're kind of going around it, it'll make a noise, and then if you grab it, it'll make like a really loud like beeping sound almost, or like a high pitched like tone.
And it has different colors.
So the teddy bear version of that, if a spirit or anyone were to touch any part of the teddy bear says, like, you know, you're tickling my arm, or like it'll say something about whatever
like,
body part it's touching.
Yes, or like hold my hand, or like it'll laugh and the belly will light up if it like gets tickled or something.
I think it also can say something about temperature, like how a regular REM pod.
I think it's like, I'm cold. Yeah. Which is so scary.
I know, but so they
the voice itself on the teddy bear.
I know,
terrifying.
It's like the music box too, the motion sensor music box, where it's just like a really creepy sound.
I'm like, no, thank you. Can we make it like cute and fun?
I know, but so. Well, oh my god, water droplet from the condensation on my coffee. So at the Sally house, and I'm pretty sure it was Sam and Colby, although I feel like it was Project Fear, but I'm pretty sure it was Sam and Colby. Regardless, that REM pod looks like a teddy bear, so Sally house is a perfect place to bring it to, because
especially if it's a little girl spirit.
Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Right. So
I want to know what like that feels like being tickled. Like, okay, don't laugh. Let me elaborate, Steven. I swear to God. Like, what does it feel like that a ghost is tickling you?
I don't know.
Like, does it actually feel like you're getting tickled? Or do you think, like, it just, like,
I don't know. Because I've never, like, we've talked about this on this podcast before. Like, I've never been touched by a spirit before. Yeah. I've never had, like, really significant, like, paranormal experiences, which is part of the reason why I want to so bad. But I would imagine that, it was enough for Cap or Tommy. It was enough for this person's friend Tommy to jump up saying like, hey, like, stop touching me. So like it has to feel real, like a real hand.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or like grabbing their leg or whatever.
No thanks.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm good. But yeah, so that was the story of the Sally house.
Is there any like update or anything, or like video?
No updates. It was just sharing their experience. I'm looking to see if there's any comments or anything of people like elaborating, but someone commented, it said, went to rehab in that town in Kansas. A couple of my buddies would sneak out and fuck around by that place. And then OP responded and said, hope you're doing all right. They have officers do regular patrol here, like kids, especially college kids, try to break in all the time. And then the commenter said, did you ever go down in the basement? I heard that's where there's supposed to be the demon. And then the OP said, we did. That was supposedly where someone did animal sacrifices and witchcraft. They said, however, the basement was the easiest room to be in. That was the room where nothing ever happened. It was the easiest to breathe, which is so fascinating.
That is interesting. I like don't remember much of the basement in the videos that I've seen. I remember like the living room and the upstairs more in the videos, but
is the basement in the Sally house where there was a pentagram, or is that in the Conjuring house?
That was, I think, the Conjuring basement. Oh no, I think the Sally house had the pentagram then. Hold on. I'm going to do a Google.
That would be another crazy place to go to, the Conjuring house.
I know.
There's actually, so funnily
it is
enough,
the Sally house. Okay,
that's what I thought.
Okay, now I'm remembering the basement.
Yeah, so the Conjuring house is going to be up for auction on Halloween. They're putting it up for auction.
Whoever buys it is going to allow tours still?
I hope so. I hope they don't tear it down.
they tear it down, that would be like
I don't think they will.
I feel like it's a historical monument at this point. Like,
I'm surprised that Matt Rife did not also buy the Conjuring house, because he is now the legal guardian. Him and what's his name?
I don't know who
Elton.
you're thinking.
Elton.
Oh.
Did you know it's Matt Rife and Elton?
Being the owners of what?
The Warrens' house, the occult museum. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Out of all people, I would expect Elton, but not Matt Rife.
So Matt Rife like is a paranormal investigator apparently. He's like done that.
He used to be in all of the videos, but
he's done that for like almost 2 decades.
It's crazy.
And I didn't realize that he was like that active in the community,
right.
which makes
I thought
a lot
he was
of
just friends with everyone.
It makes a lot of sense as to why he had gone on like Ghost Adventures a couple times and
yeah.
stuff, or maybe once or twice, but
yeah.
And it makes more sense as to why he was one of the two that now has ownership or guardianship of the occult museum. But
imagine owning that, or like being a caretaker of that.
Well, they're owning it. They're opening it up for people to stay. And there's already YouTubers that have released videos of them staying there since it's been open. Yeah, so the way, this is a tangent, but what his goal is to open it up to people to be able to stay there to like experience paranormal encounters and like be able to visit the museum and like essentially kind of, it sounded like have the Warrens' legacy like live on, but like allow people to experience it. And a lot of people were concerned that like they weren't going to be respecting the Warrens' wishes and like respecting the spirits and stuff that are attached to any of those haunted objects, because it's not the Conjuring house, it is the Warrens' house.
Right. It's the house that
they lived in. And the occult museum. Yeah. Yes. So like all of those haunted artifacts and cursed objects
that they kept locked away
in the house, and they're opening it up for people to stay and like do tours and stuff and stay for a weekend, overnight, whatever they want to do. So
whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Good for them, honestly. I'll do this one because it's shorter. And I'll end with a bang. So this is my experiences at the Hawthorne Hotel, which is in Salem, Massachusetts. It's, I believe, the most haunted hotel in Salem. I'm sure there's more, but I think it's the most famous haunted hotel in Salem. This was posted in the subreddit Paranormal by Baked Satan.
Fun.
It was posted 3 years ago, and it's just an experience. So OP says, I'll start off by saying I'm open-minded but fairly skeptical, and was just wondering if anyone experienced anything similar or has an explanation. This happened years ago, but was recently on my mind again. I have 2 main experiences from staying 2 nights at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts. I was with my then girlfriend, now wife, at the time of all incidents.
Congrats.
Yay. The first thing that kept happening to us was the water in the bathroom would sporadically turn itself on. I feel like that happens in so many haunted hotels.
It also happens in Phasmophobia.
True. So true.
But dirty water. But yeah, that happened to Sam and Colby at the Queen Mary.
Yes. And I feel like another hotel too.
Probably, but the most significant I can think of is Queen Mary.
Yeah, for sure. So the water would turn on. We would be lying in bed or just coming back into the room from the bar downstairs, and the shower or sink would be on full blast. The knobs on everything have to be physically turned to shut it all off, so it had us scratching our heads, to say the least.
Whoa.
It ended up freaking my wife out so much that when it happened throughout the night, she woke me up to go turn it off. The other weird thing that happened to us was during the second night, as we were trying to get back to our room, we took the elevator. We definitely pushed our correct floor number, but for some reason the elevator went down instead of up. It took us to what I believe was the basement. The doors opened up and it was a fairly dirty looking floor, short hallway, and a single door with a circular window on it. Hello. I feel like that's not like a basement.
That sounds like a porthole.
Truly, I know. But also, like, you don't have like a basement door with a circular window on it. So that's kind of weird.
Can I just say that? Reminds me of the door at the Krusty Krab.
I'm thinking like SpongeBob's front door. And it has like a
little, the porthole.
The porthole. That's what it must be. Not a single light was turned on in the hallway either. We were both freaked out at this point, but curiosity got the better of us and we decided to leave and look through the window. What we saw inside was really, really old looking furniture and chairs, but it was all so dusty and dirty. My wife jumped and said she saw a shadow move. It freaked us out enough to run back to the elevator and spam our floor number again. Thankfully, this time it brought us to the correct floor. I don't really believe in many paranormal things, but I don't really have an explanation for what we experienced in that hotel.
Crazy.
I will say, sorry, we're playing the second thing with the elevator, I feel like oftentimes like some people press the wrong button and then they get off on the wrong floor. So it could have been a maintenance person that was like, oh, I'm going to the basement, and then they were like, wait, no, I have to stop at this floor.
Yeah.
And they stopped at the floor that this couple was staying at, and then they didn't realize that it was a down arrow instead of an up arrow.
Right.
I feel like I always go into elevators not realizing that it's still going down.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could debunk that, but the fact that the basement alone in the Hawthorne Hotel sounds like that is terrifying.
Also, the faucets in the shower turning on by themselves.
That I can't debunk, especially if they're not in the hotel room when it happens and they come home or come in the room and it's on.
Because if you think about it, right, like if you think about the like the plumbing of a shower and a faucet, like you're turning them to open up the pipe so that way the water can can flow through. That doesn't just happen on its own, and if it does, it bursts, and it comes from the base of the faucet or the handles,
you have to
not
physically
the actual
turn knobs for water to come out,
right?
Unless it's like you said,
right. And on full blast, that's a full however many rotations until you can't turn the knob anymore. So it's like the pipe is fully open, and everything's just gushing.
Yeah,
out.
It's not like a drip, like it was just on.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. I don't have an explanation for that.
No,
but like if I were to walk in my hotel room and like the water was going,
I would be terrified.
Be like, we need to switch rooms.
That's
I'd be like, hello, thank you so much. Let's not waste water.
We could stay there.
That's I suggested it, I feel like.
Or any hotel in Salem.
It's not that far. I'm sure they do tours. But like, I feel like sometimes tours, it's like, okay, no, I want to investigate. I don't want a tour.
Well, what we could do.
I want an investigation.
Hear me out. What we could do is we could go to the hotel, do the tour, and then stay there. Yeah. And then go back to the places from the tour and investigate.
Yeah.
And like
unless it's hotel rooms itself. And like, I'm sure we wouldn't be able to like request to stay in that room if it's like not booked already. But
right. Yeah.
But we could stand outside it and be creepy as fuck.
And listen to the people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can walk around hotels and stuff. Like it's.
Yeah. I'm sure they're so used to that too.
Definitely, for sure.
Like it's a touristy thing.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to like stay there and be like, is anything happening?
I want to stay at the Stanley one day.
Yes. Well,
I'm going to do it.
That's, spoiler alert, that's my second one. So we'll talk about that.
I love the Stanley. I also forgot that was your second one until I just said it.
There aren't really many comments to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone literally said someone could have pushed basement but got out at the lobby. Then you walked into a downward elevator. And then someone else said, I'm here for my second time right now. I have the AC cranked but was sweating all night. I had a very vivid dream about demonic possession. We'll see what happens today and tonight. That's so fun.
That's spooky. So fun. Wow. Okay. Shall I read my last one?
Mm-hmm.
Or my second one?
Yeah.
So this one, we've already talked a little bit about this location before because we went there, but this one's like another experience. It's actually similar to what we experienced there, which I think is really fascinating and fun.
I feel like that's affirming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is titled Negative Energy Experience at Alcatraz Prison, and it was posted 2 years ago from VGNL Scrimmage.
Nice.
I don't want to know what that stands for.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. Anyways.
Steven literally just like laughing. It's so funny.
Cool. Okay, here we go. Oh, also, wait. For backstory, I guess, for Alcatraz, we already talked about it, I know, but it was a prison. When did it stop being a prison? In 1972?
Sure. Let me look.
I think it was 1972. If I got that right, I'm going to be impressed. Or 71. 72, 71.
1963.
63. Okay.
I weren't that far off.
Not far off. Okay, so it was a functioning prison by 1963. Before that, there were also, like the wardens would stay on the island with their families. There was a school there for the wardens' children. But then before that, it was Native American land, indigenous people's land. which when we went on Indigenous Peoples Day, and we got to see the like ending / like dismissal of their like what was it? It was the sunrise ceremony.
Yeah.
On Indigenous Peoples Day. Super awesome, really, really cool. Now it's reclaimed land and it's a national park, so it's taken care of by the National Park Service in California, which is great. Super fucking cool place to explore. Very
also
spooky.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think I said this in the episode where we talked about it, but like one of my favorite facts that I learned about Alcatraz was that the women that were living on the island with their husbands that were wardens brought all of this flora and fauna over and like planted and made gardens, and like that is why it's like not just a rock today. It's like all of the nature that's on there is because of the women that like planted when they lived there.
I wonder if like before it was established as a prison, if like there was also fauna and stuff there, and then once it like
maybe they just didn't take care of it or something. I don't know.
But some of like the world's most famous like criminals stayed on Alcatraz. Like Al Capone was in Alcatraz. What's the other big name? There's another big name. Steven, do you remember any of the big people that stayed in Alcatraz?
No.
Cool. Well,
Nice.
Al Capone was there.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most famous.
Yeah, lots of like murderers, I feel like, and like gang related criminals.
But also like a lot of like just like
huge tax fraud cases were there too.
Yeah, pretty much like all sorts of types of felons were there. They shipped them off.
Okay, so this person's story says, I need help deciphering a particular experience I had at the Alcatraz prison tour in California.
Okay.
This was an audio guided tour, which after a brief introduction to the history of the island and prison by an in-person guide, we were directed to a station where we picked up our own playback device with attached headphones. The playback device was similar to an old portable cassette player in size, and it would play pre-recorded historical info based on where you were in the facility, which could be paused at any time so people could pursue at their own pace. This was my first tour of this kind, and everything went as normally as I thought it would. Rows of prison cells, mess hall, intake center, watchtower, etc. It was very cool to imagine all the history that happened in that place. Agreed.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I can confirm all of that is accurate.
Yeah. The point where it got weird was about halfway or 2/3 of the way through the tour when I went to the solitary confinement cells. The entrance to the cell was a large reinforced steel door with a small slot for food, which was separated from the outside corridor by another traditional prison door with bars. So going in or out, it would have taken 2 sets of keys. See pics 2 and 3. They have 4 pictures. I paused the tape so I could explore and entered one of the cells. Immediately, I was hit with a thickness or a pressure in the air, so I took off the headphones, and I still felt the pressure in my head giving me a headache, which you had. I tried to reason with this sensation and I figured it was because of the walls, etc. Were so thick and reinforced, so maybe that was causing the pressure. As I walked around the very small cell, couldn't have been any larger than about 8 feet by 8 feet. I noticed the floor...
It was definitely smaller than that.
It was small. I noticed the floor beneath my feet felt, or for a lack of a better word, unstable. I almost felt high, like the sensation of walking was distorted. It kind of felt like the floor gave away in a very slight spring-like way, to the point where I was purposefully bouncing up and down on certain spots to test if it was giving way because of the age or something. But the claustrophobic energy seemed to have distorted my perception of things, and I'm not claustrophobic. I also got some goosebumps, but I thought it was due to the sudden onset of these other symptoms. At this point, I had been in the cell for probably a full minute, and then I started to feel noticeably nauseous and dizzy. I mean the full saliva accumulating in the back of your mouth when you're about to vomit sensation. Wow. It was so strong I had to leave the cell, and almost immediately the symptoms went away. Queasiness, head pressure, unstable floor, etc. It was so remarkable that I went back into the cell to test it out again, and sure enough, the pressure and sick feeling came back a lot faster than the first time. I left the cell again to get some cool air on my face and even asked a nearby tourist if they felt anything strange in the cell. One guy passing by said yeah, but didn't seem to care too much. A couple of others shook their head no, and anyone else nearby was going about their business. In the name of scientific methodology, I entered the cell for my third and final time, with all symptoms remaining the same, and took longer to recover from after I exited the last time. The headache and instant nausea were the most debilitating. The rest of the audio guided tour went smoothly, and no other place made me feel that the way that cell did. It must have been the cell next to 14D, because you can't go into 14D.
Yeah, that one's like blocked off.
Yeah. It was so profound that even though it was about 7 years ago, I've never forgotten it. I've tried explaining my experience to others, but they don't have much to say about it, and I've tried reasoning with myself so many times. Besides something paranormal, I could only deduce that it had something to do with the aged steel reinforcements and perhaps something in the air. But if it was the latter, I think they would have tested it, this historical location, for asbestos, mold, etc. before opening up to the public. There was also the fact that not everyone felt it like I did. There was no change in smell, cold feeling, goosebumps, etc. I can only imagine the negative energy that those walls witnessed, with people going insane in solitary. Oh my god, I was thinking that was solidarity. Solitary. I consider myself to be pretty aware, sensitive to certain things, and have frequent premonitions about events unrelated to this one.
Yeah, the only thing that I could debunk is like a claustrophobic symptom, but like we also felt I got a headache. I never felt like nauseous. I definitely had like a tightness in my chest and like a headache.
Yeah.
But also just like a very overwhelming feeling of like sadness entering that cell. I also felt a tug on my sleeve when I was in there.
Yes.
It was like the smallest like it was a tiny little bit, but yeah.
We also saw some lights flickering too when we were there, when we were walking by certain cells, not even in the solitary confinement block. It was the other
just
blocks.
Like we would like point to a cell and it would flicker or something, which was wild. But I feel like more often than not, when like a spirit is present or like there's an entity in there, like nausea is the first thing. Headache and nausea,
like sickness.
Yeah, people feel so sick, especially when entity is like trying to either like attach or like do something to you in some way.
Oppression versus possession, as the Warrens have said before.
That's scary.
There was ooh, this is fun. There's one of the comments on it. It's this guy commented. He said, I live near Alcatraz and have been a few times. There's legends about the solitary cells. You should look them up because it seems like you don't know of them. I went into one of the solitary cells when I was in 5th grade, I think, on a field trip. 2 boys that went in with me freaked out and were pounding on the door to be let out. It was the 80s and adults were still allowed to try and freak kids out on the regular. So the tour guide closed the doors on us and we were in the pitch dark.
Oh my God.
I don't know what they saw, but I was just chilling in the dark singing in my own head.
Vibing. That's crazy.
Yeah, someone said like it sounds like it was a fairly standard panic attack. Bad places evoke bad emotions. Yeah. And then OP said, maybe I'm no stranger to panic attacks, but in my 20 plus years of experiencing them, it's never been like this. It was very leisurely and nothing else on the tour really fazed me. Even approaching the cells, I was like, oh, cool. But when I went in, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I feel like you also know in your gut, like when it's a panic response and when it's something else. Like when you know something's off.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, something's weird here.
Some people are saying I had the same exact feeling in those cells. Someone else said, wow, I went a few weeks ago and had the same exact reaction. I tried walking into 2 different cells in the D block and the air was so heavy and repelling that I couldn't even step in. I got that nauseous, sick feeling there too. The other place I felt that was the old mortuary and crematorium on the way to the jail. I don't think we ever did. We couldn't go in there. I felt like I smelled death in there and it made me so nauseous I started gagging. Really interesting to hear others have similar experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else. Whoa, okay, hold on. You aren't crazy. I was just there today. The first time I went there, I went into one of the solitary cells and closed the door. Wow, it was dark, scary, and suffocating. It was so dark when I opened my eyes, I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. But what I did see were almost like floating orbs. It was super intense. I definitely felt the dark energy. I was only in there for a minute or so, but that was enough. I was there again today, and I vividly recall my first visit and was apprehensive to go back into solitary confinement cell, but I did. They had the doors secured, so only the bars would close, not the steel door, but I still got the same dark energy feeling. Nothing good happened in those cells, sadness and despair. I concluded that the energy is residual from many years before that, but you're not crazy. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, just like a bunch of people like affirming.
Yeah.
The same thing.
14D specifically is like the most, like the heaviest feeling / most haunted cell in the prison.
And I can only assume that the one directly next to it is going to have similar energy as well.
Any of those D cells, those solitary, because it's 4 solitary confinement cells. Any of those ones, I think. But yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, if you have an opportunity to go to Alcatraz, do it, because it's just like a really cool piece of history to learn about too.
And even just to like give money back to like support the restoration of like indigenous land, I think is also really important. But the not only that history, but then like the history of the prison and all of that stuff, like everything. There's so much energy.
So much
on that one rock.
Yeah.
One piece of land.
I left
there.
like crying. There was so much energy that like hit me that I was like, I can't stop crying.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, we were walking around the gift shop and you were like wiping tears. I was like, are you okay?
And like the thing was, I was like, I'm not sad.
Yeah. It was just
it just kept happening. It was crazy. But yeah, definitely go if you have the opportunity.
Hell yeah.
Last but not least, my final story is titled Never Stay at the Stanley Hotel, in parentheses, true story. It was posted in the subreddit Scary Stories 5 years ago by Bernd Schmidt.
Wait, the Stanley Hotel is what The Shining is based off of, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's in Estes Park, Colorado.
Which is where the Estes method was
created. That's so true, bestie. Yeah. So Colorado has a lot of different lore, cryptids, haunted happenings, but specifically the Stanley Hotel is what The Shining. And in the first paragraph, that is what it's going to explain. So I'll just do that. So about 10 years ago, I visited a friend and his girlfriend in Colorado. One of those nights were spent at the Stanley Hotel, the infamously haunting and elegiac inn that was the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. Known for being one of the most haunted places in America, it was once a retreat for travelers suffering of tuberculosis. Number count assessments of people who actually died in the hotel have been reported as high as 1,200. As soon as you check in, you take an optional guided tour of the property inside and out, but we opted to just go to our rooms. Robert and Crystal stayed in the room directly across the hall from me. Upon arrival, the antique scent of aged wood wafted through the building along with just the dusty smell of old, if you know what I mean. We took our own tour, and as we walked the tastefully elegant empty halls, it's a rather large building. Hi, Willow. Hi, sweetie. She's like, where did my dad go?
Literally.
She's That's gonna go so find cute. Him. She is like obsessed with him.
Oh, that was so adorable.
She's like, I gotta go find him now. I love her. Anyways, so where was I? Oh, we took our own tour, and as we walked to the tastefully elegant empty halls, it's a rather large building, we began snapping pics of random things like staircases, doors, and windows. Might I just add, the Stanley Hotel also, as soon as you walk in, so context, Stephen and I have been there before. You walk in and there's like, as soon as you walk in, there's this large staircase that then has 2 staircases going up that way. Yeah. And the landing has mirrors on both sides. So it's a portal. Yeah. A vortex, if you will.
Yeah, it's like up and then it goes up and around.
Exactly. Yeah. And on these walls, there are 2 mirrors.
And they're big mirrors.
I stood in between the mirrors. Yeah. I was like, I need to leave.
You're like, Sam and Colby have been here.
No, I literally was like, oh my God, Sam. And then I was like, oh, I need to get out of the way. But yeah, so there was the staircases, doors, and windows that they were taking pictures of. Weird, Robert commented at one point as we stood at the bottom of the West Wing staircase. Ew, that is weird, Crystal shouted. Robert snapped probably 10 photos of the hallway wall at the top of the stairs.
No, that's like a spirit freeway. Why would you do
literally. That? In each picture, there was a hovering orb, appearing in roughly the same exact spot each time. The hallway corner directly at the top of the stairs. I snapped pics with my phone too. That staircase is like very active. It's crazy. Same thing in the same place has to be the glare from that light. We stood at different...
I was just going to say, like, if it's in the same spot... But I'll let you finish what you were saying because I have a feeling it's not going to be in the same spot.
Okay. They say, we stood at different angles. It appeared. I moved up the staircase about halfway. I snapped another pic, and right at that moment, felt a freezing chill pass through me. So it could be a glare from a light. We don't know. Unfortunately, there are no pictures attached.
Okay.
But there is more.
Okay.
You guys feel that? Feel what? Then I looked at the photo. The orb appeared, only now it was on the staircase, hovering wide over the step. Just one step ahead of me. Whoa! Robert and Crystal both cried out. Dude, a blast of wind just hit me, he said with shock, in an air of astonishment. They almost fell over in nervous cackles, not the funny kind, but the I just got off a roller coaster that I thought would kill me type laugh of exasperation. I snapped a picture of them at the bottom. The orb was directly behind them. Ooh. Okay, guys, this isn't a trick of the light. I snapped another photo of the top of the stairs again. Nothing was there. What's worse, the floor at the top of the stairs was ours. Not just our floor, but our end of the floor. We had, okay.
Oh, like where their room is?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's worse, the floor at the top? Okay. Yeah. We had a great dinner that night and hung out at the bar. Vibes. Before retiring to our room around 1 a.m. or so, we discussed and analyzed the photos from earlier and pretty much laughed it off. But I admit, when I closed the door behind me, after finally entering my room, an unavoidable dread started to build inside of me. There was a chair right next to my bed. I froze when I thought I saw a middle-aged man with black hair sitting in it with his legs crossed, just leering at me. So I instinctively flicked on the light. Hello?
Huh?
Nothing there. However, after falling asleep, I dreamt of that same man, seated at the side of my bed, making horrific faces at me, like rolling his eyes up into his head with his mouth hanging open, his tongue sticking out the side, like either he was trying to scare me or was just really ill. This is when I woke up, and as I came out of my stupor, I realized that I was lying on the edge of my bed, my head looking directly at the chair. I have chills. I physically have chills right now.
That makes my tummy feel gross.
Yeah. Like I just got the chills. I fell back asleep, but getting woken up by someone's kids running and laughing out in the hallway. This was true because I remember seeing several families with children entering and exiting their rooms, but it was absolutely incessant, and at the ungodly hour of 3:17 a.m., I got out of bed and angrily stomped my way towards the door and swung it open. Nobody there. How could nobody be hearing and complaining about this shit? I whispered to myself. Just as quickly as I shut my door, I turned around instantaneously. I became... It's getting intense.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared, Grandpa. Local stim lately has been, I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I don't even know what that's from.
It's I don't know what it's from either, but it's like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. That's what it is. I don't know what it's from.
I love that.
Anyway.
I'm nervous.
Me too. So shut the door, turn around immediately?
Yes.
Okay.
Just as quickly as I shut my door and turned around, instantaneously, I became covered in goosebumps and felt really off. Just as I began running... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just as I began rubbing my arms from what I assumed could have been the air conditioner, I'd become shaken and fully awake by an unexplainable rush of alertness. But there was a perfectly good explanation, which took me about 5 seconds to realize. The sheets of my bed were protruding up into the air about 2 feet, and the end of the sheet was being pressed down against my pillows. Hello? I'm sorry, I'm like in shock.
2 feet. That's like this. Probably more.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. The AC was off. I wasn't staying in that room for another second. I tiptoed to the nightstand, which was, of fucking course, on the far end of the bed, and quietly grabbed my phone, not taking my eyes off the lump under my covers, and again quietly shuffled my way to the door, when all of a sudden, the ice in the bucket on the desk cracked as it melted, and then a high-pitched giggle emanated from directly in the center of my bed from under the covers. I ran out of there, not looking back.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. And banged on my friend's door until Robert swung it open. I told him I needed to stay with them, that I'd sleep on the floor, that I couldn't explain now, but would in the morning. The next morning, I quickly gathered my things from my room, met them downstairs for breakfast, but before I did, I stopped the desk. Hi, can I help you? Yeah, this is weird, but I'm staying on the 3rd floor, and she finished my sentence. Room 317, right? Yeah, how did you know? Because everybody knows. We usually don't book people for that room, but we're full. I kind of expected you. So what is it? Then she said something that made my blood run cold. It's just baby Michael. Don't worry, he's harmless.
It's just baby
Just
Michael.
baby Michael.
Underneath my bed
But
sheets.
this is an old man? Baby Michael?
Baby Michael.
Hello? I'm so confused.
Baby Michael's just like, I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. At least I knew for certain that those photos were not glare of the lights, and that spending a few hours in a room with baby Michael was exponentially more terrifying than a lifetime of The Shining watch-throughs. The only thing I still ponder is the identity of the man. He still shows up in my nightmare, sitting on the edge of my bed, making faces at me.
No shot. Oof.
No, thank you.
That's a crazy story.
And like,
wow,
says it's true. This stayed in 317. I can't really I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
Did it die?
It might have died.
It definitely just died.
I'm gonna vomit right now, Marissa.
Hold on, wait. Let me check.
I'm going to throw up.
Was it fully charged?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dead.
Turn on the power button again on the left. Okay, it's dead.
It's like fully dead.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that was terrifying.
That was really freaky. I just think it's interesting that it died right as we were talking about all that stuff.
And also, I don't think you saw it, but Willow was like on top of the cabinets.
Yeah.
And she was literally like slinking and staring at me. And I'm like, I think my cat's haunted. I think my house is haunted. Anyways, I don't think I can debunk any of that.
The experience or the light?
Both. No, lights definitely just died. But no, like the Stanley Hotel experience, like I can't. The thing lifting, like maybe the orbs, sure, like maybe it was a glare, but if the orbs started moving and like following them around, like very different.
Yeah, how do you explain the bed sheet?
I like can't, especially if the AC wasn't on.
But also it was a lump, like an air conditioner. An air conditioner, no matter how close it is, isn't powerful enough of like a breeze to make to lift that.
2 feet.
Like a fan can.
Yeah.
But also if it did, you would see it like ruffling as the air is blowing.
It's like,
it wouldn't just be like a cat's underneath the bed sheet.
Yeah.
You know? And they also said that like the sheet was raised and the pillow had like a indent in it.
Right. Exactly. I'm like looking at comments. This was 5 years ago, but OP said, I took the photos back in 2011 and I've went through 100 phones since, but I'm sure I can salvage something. I'll let you know if I post them. But there was no update on that. I would love to see the photos.
I know, me too. Did you and Steven take any pictures while you were there?
No. No. But when we were there, so we didn't pay for a tour. We like walked around and didn't go above. They have like the stairs that like loop around and they have them roped off, so you can't go on the floors unless you're staying there.
Yeah.
But they have, if you go to the right all the way down the hallway, they have this piano room that as soon as I entered that room, it was
you felt weird, right?
Yeah. I was freezing. It was thick. Like I just like had this crazy feeling and I was like, I need to leave.
So we should go to the Stanley is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
And stay there.
Uh-huh.
And do the tour.
100%. Someone just asked if anyone knows the story behind Baby Michael.
Baby Michael.
Baby Michael.
I wonder if the orb that was following them in the pictures was Baby Michael or the alleged Baby Michael, or if it was that man spirit.
I know. And the fact that he is still dreaming about that guy.
Scary.
I keep getting chills when I talk about the guy specifically.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It almost reminds me, like, in the second Conjuring movie, like, the old man, Bill, that lives in the house.
In the rocking chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept thinking of the man that, like, people say that they've seen in their dreams, but, like, never seen him in real life.
The Hat Man? No.
Maybe. It's like this, like... Hold on.
Does he wear a top hat?
No.
Ew.
Yeah, I've dreamt of him before.
Ew.
My sister, her recurring nightmares as a kid, her night terrors, it was this man.
Ew. Mm-hmm. Who is that man?
So many people have had, like, terrifying, paralyzing dreams from that guy, but no one knows who that is. No one's ever seen a man like that in real life. But so many people have seen it in their dreams.
Ew.
We should definitely do, like, a dream episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, so those were our haunted place Reddit stories. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of a spook. That last one was
really scary.
I'm glad we edited on that one.
Me too.
It just gets me excited for all of the other things that we will be recording.
I know. This was a really fun kickoff to October, to our favorite month of the year.
Yes. Happy October, everyone.
Yes.
Let us know what you're being for Halloween.
Yes.
I'm still figuring it out. I might not even
I think we should reveal our Halloween costumes for our Halloween episode.
I agree.
Since Halloween will be the next day.
Crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that would... Maybe we wear them.
That would be so fun.
We could do that.
Because I think I'm planning multiple costumes, so I'll have to figure out which one I want to wear.
Okay. We'll do some brainstorming.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fun.
Well, thanks so much for listening.
Thanks, guys.
I hope you got a good kick out of these spooky episodes. And you're going to get 4 more. So
yeah. Don't have too many nightmares tonight.
Especially about baby Michael.
Baby Michael.
Thanks
Maybe
so
we'll
much.
go there one... Whoa, I can't speak. Maybe we'll go there one day and meet baby Michael.
I don't know if I want to be
Both of us.
Holy shit.
What's happening?
Meet baby Michael. It's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
But anywho, thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.